Now, for the love of everything, please give me a lobster. Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to early Pleasantview. Now, before we jump in, you've probably noticed that I've titled these videos for now with Season 0, and the reason for why I did that instead of calling them Season 1 is that A, we're getting a lot of introduction stuff out of the way. That takes a lot of time and focuses less on the gameplay than it would otherwise. And also, all these households, they are currently on their last day of spring. And when the seasons shift, I will go back to my regular rounds. And what that means is something I will explain when we get there. For now, as you have probably already guessed, we're going to visit the Crumplebottom household, which is right here at the edge of the town. Now, in this Crumplebottom household, we have Agnes, Cornelia, and the two cats, Hecuba and Menelaus. Anyway, the description says, after the fire of 1984, Cornelia decided to live a more secluded life. After a few years, Agnes came to Pleasantview, moving in with her big sister. Will the Morning Sisters learn to find some passion without relying on others? So, let's jump in. So here's what the house looks like from the outside. It looks really nice and pretty, so let's go inside. Right, so first of all, here we have Cornelia Goth, who is the mother of Mortimer. Cornelia is a knowledge sim with the lifetime wand to raise 20 puppies or kittens. Well, we have two cats, so I don't know if that counts. She currently has the wish to resurrect Gunther, her dead husband. Cornelia has a good relationship with her cats, with her sister, and with her granddaughter Cassandra. With her son Mortimer, not so much. And yeah, Bella, she doesn't like Bella. Cornelia has no job, but she has a bronze talent badge in gardening. Her bio reads, Cornelia is happy to rekindle her friendship with her dear sister. Although being morbid, they can bond over their pain of their deceased husbands. That is indeed a little morbid, but it can also work. Now here in her memories, I found a memory that said that she lost Agnes as her best friend, which was right after the birth of Mortimer. That's interesting. And she also has a memory of a fire and then right after her husband died, so he probably died in that fire. She hasn't become best friends with her sister again yet, but they have a pretty good relationship, so they're on their way to become best friends again. Cornelia also currently wants to join the garden club. That's something we can do. That's definitely a lot more likely than resurrecting her dead husband. Now over here we have Agnes Crumplebottom. You may remember her from The Sims 3, where she's a young woman who recently lost her husband. And speaking of which, those memories are also here. So her husband's name was Eric, and here we see that he died just a little after they had gotten married. And since then, poor Agnes has not had any other love. And to make this even sadder, her lifetime want is to marry off 6 children. That is not going to happen, Agnes. Poor Agnes, she will never fulfill her lifetime want. Agnes is a retired obituary writer, and she has a silver talent badge in gardening. Another thing that's quite interesting is that Agnes has a pretty lousy relationship with almost everyone. She seems to hate Nina the most. She gets along with her sister Cornelia, and she's best friends with Cassandra, her great niece, grandniece. I don't even know, but you know what I mean. Her bio reads, Agnes left those running around Sims nagging them over their PDA's days behind. Now she just complains under her breath while violently knitting, which is a reference to Sims 1, where she's the Miss Crumplebottom who will ruin your dates. Also, her personality says that she's very neat and very active, but pretty shy, and she's super serious and super grouchy. So there's a character for you. In the base game Pleasantview, both Cornelia and Agnes, they do exist as far as I know, but they're already deceased. So you can resurrect them if you want, but they're not playable from the start. Now let's jump to the cats. I can't really zoom in on them, so forgive me. So here we have Hakuba, who is an elder. He has no job, and his bio says Hakuba thinks herself very... Oh, it's a she. I'm sorry, it's a she. Hakuba thinks herself very important and thinks her twin brother is not as cute as she is. Well, I'm sure you're both very cute. So here we have Menelaus over here with a very funny expression right now. Very relatable expression, if you ask me. He's also unemployed. He's also an elder. And his bio says, Menelaus has a lot on his mind, but doesn't feel like explaining it right now. That is also relatable. The whole cat is very relatable. Here's a quick look at the house. Here we have the little entrance area. Over here we have kitchen. Here we have the living room with a fireplace. Let's hope there won't be another fire. I hope that's not foreshadowing. Agnes is over here in her little room. And then upstairs we have Cornelia's room and another little bathroom. Okay, so here's another interesting thing. Agnes has a memory of when she met Mortimer, but it's a negative memory. So that was probably done through the magic of SimPE. I don't think that's possible via vanilla gameplay. It says the same thing it would say when it's a positive memory, but that's an interesting little fact. She dislikes Mortimer, but she is not enemies with him. And Agnes also grew up badly, most recently, probably because she's still so very unhappy because of what happened with her husband. Alright, but now we're done with the introductions finally, and we can see what this Tuesday will bring these two sisters. Oh, thank you so much, Menelaus, for vomiting and letting that be your very first action in this gameplay. I'm also sorry. I thought I was done with the introductions, but here's another thing. Cornelia here is she is 69 days old, and Agnes, she's 58 days old. So they have a pretty big age gap. That's interesting. Oh, Cornelia has tried to paint something on her own here, and it turns out that this is her one true hobby. Oh, good grief. Agnes wants to make a zombie out of her parents, I think. Morbid. Oh, and Agnes has kept the ashes of her dead husband right beside her bed all this time. Oh, Agnes, this is so sad. Agnes also wants to get a golden gardening talent badge. Talent badge, if I can talk correctly. And I will lock that in because that is a lot more doable than making a zombie. Oh, goodness. Menelaus over here is destroying the furniture. Could you please not do that, cat? Bad kitty. Don't do that. But also, here's a treat. Let's go and join the garden club, or attempt to join the garden club at least. You've reached the garden club. If you want, we'll send a representative over right away. Yes, please do that. Okay, there she is. Tiffany Zarubin. Let's greet her. I'm not doing this very often with the garden club. Is she like doing her own thing? Okay, I can request a garden club membership. So I guess I will do that. Please look at my garden. She's making a phone call. We are going to do a thorough inspection of your garden before you can earn membership in the garden club. Let's hope you did your work. Yeah, I hope. Overall, this is a nice, healthy plant. Great job. Oh, here we have more members of the garden club. They're all making their assessments. She also likes this plant inside. Okay, now Matthew Smith over here is looking at this tree. Tiffany, she likes another plant. Okay, this seems to be going well. They're checking out our living room plants. Okay, they seem to like them. I'm sorry if these trees are in the way of the camera all the time. That's great. How many plants do you have to look at, Tiffany? Do you have to check out every single plant? You still have much to improve, but we're going to go ahead and give you a garden club membership. Congratulations, some notes for next time. You should either enlarge the size of your garden or take better care of it. You could really use some more decorative landscaping in your garden. Your garden was very clean and well kept. Okay, now Cornelia wants to earn a perfect garden score. Okay, Matthew over here is still taking notes. I would like to get to know you. Okay, now they're leaving. I was hoping that maybe we could talk to Matthew and maybe one of the sisters would like him or anything. Right, so it's almost 4 p.m. And for the sake of something else happening, I'm deciding that the sisters are going out to eat their dinner somewhere else. Let's see. Right, here we are at Bernard's Botanical Dining. And in case you're wondering, yes, this is a different version from the one you get with Nightlife. I downloaded this version of the downtown. It has all the lots in a renovated state. They all look very beautiful. And I will link this downtown in the description. Okay, they just became best friends while I wasn't really looking. But they had a positive interaction and now they're best friends again. Here's Darlene Dreamer. She looks very pretty. Okay, damn it. I wanted these two to dine together, but apparently Agnes doesn't want to eat with her sister. Cornelia will order a salmon. Excuse me? Are you allowed to wear that hat while you're working here? It looks a little unprofessional. It looks a little unprofessional, my dude. Right, Agnes is going to be seated at the other end of the restaurant. Over here. Okay, wait a second. Here we have another Darlene Dreamer. So one of them is a clone. And we'll get to the clones on a different occasion. But if you know anything about Bella's brother, you know that he's involved with certain clone experiments. Whoa. Oh my goodness. Did you see that? Helen Hall over there stole our salmon. Can you believe that? We have been robbed. We have been robbed of our salmon. Okay, and there's no waiter over here who's asking Agnes for what she wants, but there's Cassandra. So much for my plan for them to eat together. I guess we're going to blame this establishment. And we're going to go somewhere else. Okay, at least... I was gonna say, at least we didn't have to pay for that salmon that was stolen from us, but apparently we did have to pay for it. Terrible restaurant. 0 stars. We're going to write a very angry review later. Except we can't, because this is in the 90s and that sort of stuff didn't exist back then. So here's this Oresha family restaurant, I think. Please serve us and don't let other guests steal our food. Okay, someone was just confronted with a fear. Anyway, we're going to do what any Karen would do. We're going to blame the establishment. And there's Bella. Okay, they served Bella nothing and now she's getting up and leaving. Because apparently this restaurant also sucks. Now, for the love of everything, please give me a lobster. Oh my god, we actually got our food. Quick, Agnes, before someone steals it! Now Cornelia is going to order her salmon again, and hopefully she'll get it this time. There's your salmon. Cornelia, quick, eat it! Oh my god, it happened again! I can't believe it! What the hell kind of restaurants are these? Cornelia, why do you let people steal your salmons? This is just terrible, and we need to get home now because Cornelia's hunger is getting really red. And I've had that happen before, that I was like, nah, they're fine. They're not gonna die anytime soon. And then they died. And I would rather not have that happen, not in the first round at least. So let's go home quickly. Maybe it's the fault of that evil witch over there. She cursed Cornelia with salmon theft. Okay, it's past 1 a.m. I didn't realize it had gotten so late. And the sisters have finally returned. And Agnes can go straight to bed. But Cornelia, she needs to eat something. And she's going to grab a bag of chips from the fridge, which is where everyone keeps their chips. Right, that was that. That will have to do until breakfast. And now Cornelia can also go to bed. But I just noticed that Cornelia has 2 bowls with Flamenco Caliente, who's the dad of the Caliente sisters. Let's see if that is an option. Oh, and Agnes also has 2 bowls with him. So maybe there's some drama here. Cornelia, go to bed, please. Oh, goodness. Agnes, I told you to sleep in bed. And you're here on the couch? Why? Well, I guess she's a weird old lady, and as such she decides to sleep on the couch when she could easily go to bed. Anyway, I'm afraid we already have reached summer, which means that this is the end of the round for these 2. Not much has happened so far, but we have been confronted with 2 salmon thieves, and maybe there will be some drama around Flamenco Caliente next time. I guess we will see. So, it's time to say that we here at Tea and Cinnamon wish you a wonderful day. We encourage you to take good care of yourself, and we will hopefully see you next time. Bye bye.